A recent DoD study found that what, chaps?
A recent DoD study found that the Navy earned the dubious honor of surpassing all the branches in the rate of obese personnel, which I would have guessed. Some people were saying, like Task and Purpose and military.com were saying they were surprised that a branch that's known lovingly, and I mean this seriously, lovingly as the chair force wouldn't be the fattest branch of the military. I would have guessed the Navy just based on the folks that I have worked with in the past. They're chubby bunnies for a lot of them.
And I just think with the amount of people that are on ships, and I know you can work out on ships. I know they have areas to work out, but I just feel like there isn't a propensity to work out when you're underwater or just out to sea for large periods of time. So this is actually, I don't think it's that surprising.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Navy. It's overall the rate of fat service members is up in recent years, too, with the percentage of personnel weighing in at obese standards climbing over 17%, according to a Health of the DoD Force study. 17% of all DoD personnel are overweight. That number spiked to over a quarter of the service members over the age of 35, which is not surprising at all. If you lined up a group of senior chiefs especially or master sergeants, you would be like, those are some chubby kids. Let's get into just the number of the overall personnel. This is everybody, not just over age 35. For the Navy, 22% of all Navy personnel are obese. Like clinically obese.
And not just overweight, obese, yeah.
That's
18% from the Air Force, 17% of the Army, that's higher than I thought it would have been.
Ooh, who's the
And
lowest?
Marine Corps,
Who's the most fit?
The Marine Corps comes in at 8.3%. They didn't give us the numbers on our beloved Coast Guard because they're in the Department of Homeland Security. This is just a DoD survey. But 8.3% for the Marine Corps. Little high. I thought that was a little high.
Also, I loved this note they put in. While the Marine Corps was the least overweight of the bunch, they had the Marines with the highest rate of knee and back injuries. So we're the most fit, and we have the worst knee and back injuries. Why is that?
Just beating the shit out of each other.
Because we're out there just crushing it on those hills.
Pavement.
Yep, pounding that pavement.
I also like that the survey took another shot at the Navy by saying they have the lowest incident of injury, which is like, that's another way, like the Navy doesn't do shit. They
just don't move.
Sit around.
Right. And it said how much of that could be related to inactivity was not determined. Yeah. So
I'm determining it for you right now.
But I will say this though, buoyancy, big deal in the Navy. They might be onto something. Maybe it's specific to their branch. And also, I blame the food services has been getting better and better. The chow halls are getting better and better. Bring us back to when they would ladle a nice gruel into a bowl for you, you know? Like, please, sir, I want some more. You know, that kind of thing.
I love that meme that's like,
Governor.
spot of pussy for me, man.
Yeah. Spot of pussy, please. Yes.
Gut trucks have gotten better. Also.
Yeah.
Right.
Chaps, let me ask you something. You mentioned if you were in 15, 16 years, you'd probably be in some sort of staff position at this point, right?
Oh, yeah.
I
actually talked to a buddy of mine now. Like, if I was still in, I'd be a sergeant major now.
Right.
Like,
that's part of the problem too. As you go up in rank, you are more accountable for yourself. In other words, doing PT in the morning, it's just like, oh, it is expected that you will just go do PT on your own. And I'm sure there's plenty of days where like, I gotta do this, that, and the other thing, so I'm not gonna do PT today. Because I know once I got to have certain positions, it was just on me to be working out.
But it's also a little bit easier, too. It's not like where if you are a young troop and your entire PT regiment falls on you and your platoon, now as a first sergeant, even as a E7 or whatever, you want to go work out at lunch, by and large, you have that time. Like, you could say, nobody's going to say anything to you. Like, if the first sergeant or sergeant major is like, hey, sir, heading over to go PT during chow, he's not going to be like hell you are, sergeant major.
No, you're right.
There at 05.
You're right. I was definitely practicing yoga at lunchtime.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, as they say, too, like, as problems ballooning for the Navy, I think one of the motivating things for me when I used to PT,
excellent balloon joke.
Thank you, was seeing the older Marines, like the higher ranking Marines, all mine were shit hot. And they could crush any of us in PT, even the high ranking, like even the guys in their like late 40s and 50s. And it was so motivating because you're like, well, if they're doing it, I can do it too. If you're in the Navy and your leadership ain't doing shit, if they said the bulk of this is people over 35 and the high ranking, then who are they to tell you to get in shape? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
to
tell
me,
them to go
that's
fuck themselves.
It's a whole
Excellent
do
advice,
as I
Kate.
say,
Yeah,
not as I
thank
do
you.
type thing. And
Yeah.
that's tough to swallow.
what are you going to do about it, bitch? And then you just run away. They're not going to, so I think that's what, yeah.
So I don't know if this joke is going to translate well over the
Uh-oh.
podcast or not, but me and my buddy, I'll actually drop his given Christian name. Mike Huntley was his name. And we
Mike
used
Huntley?
to work
Mike
together.
Hunt?
Mike Huntley.
Mike Hunt?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yikes.
That's his actual name,
Wow.
Mike Huntley, yep. So we used to work together on Quantico, and we had this Master Guns named Master Gunny Scott. I think I've told a story about Master Gun Scott, too, whenever I was the company gunnery sergeant, how he came in. He was pissed off. It was the first day I was actually got promoted to staff sergeant, grabbed an ammo can full of cigarette butts and dumped it all over my office.
Yep.
Same guy. This dude was well into his 40s as a Master Guns and E9 in the Marine Corps, and he would constantly still be under like a 19-minute 3-mile guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I got out of sergeant's course, like our enlisted PME programs, and was running faster than I had in a long time. I was pretty close to an 18-minute guy again, and he saw me like running ahead of him. In the last 500 yards, this dude in his 40s, I'm still probably 26 years old, 27 years old, flies by me, sprints past me so fast. It's like, this dude rips cigarettes all the time. He eats like shit and can still run. And in my head still, I was like, man, I hope that that's the way that I am. Because when you have a leader who really crushes
super
it on
motivating.
PT standards and keeps themselves to the highest standard, as a junior troop, you respect the shit out of that.
Oh, yeah. So Navy, basically, I think the consensus here, Navy officers and higher enlisted, we blame you.
Yeah.
This is your fault.
Definitely. No, that's something.
And then one last note about the Navy. You would think as a Navy chief, you would definitely want to stay in shape because that yellow that they wear with the blue shorts and the yellow top
Oh, not
buddy.
flattering.
just screams fat body.
Yeah, it's tough.
At
That's
least the
tough.
olive drab PT shirts that we wear is a little bit slimming.
Yes.
Yeah, a little darker color. Yeah, right. No, but that's actually sometimes I have younger junior officers ask me like, hey, some advice going to my first platoon. And I say, one of the easiest things you can do is just be in the best shape of anybody because that's a great way to earn respect right out of the gate and not have to worry that your men or women think you're a shitbag.
I just figured it out, by the way.
What?
Here's how they can solve the problem of obesity in the military. All PT uniforms, short shorts and crop tops for both
Ooh.
genders.
Wow.
That's a terrible
Just
idea.
shame. That's
Okay,
just shame.
maybe
You
not.
want to just shame?
All right.
Right. Here's a
We'll
proposal.
workshop that. We'll circle back on that one next week. Let's put a little pin in it and we'll circle back on that. But
What
for
do
now,
you
let's
say
move-
we all go back and do our respective PT tests?
Fuck that. I'll never run.
He'll never
it'll take
run.
Me like,
He'll
it'll
never
take
run.
me like an hour to just walk the 3 miles.
I'll do one with you, though, Cons.
Okay.
All right.
You'll do
You
a
could-
PFT?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna do I'm gonna do the Army PT test.
I'm
You're
doing
gonna
the Marine
do-
one. It'll take me longer. Because we actually do more than... Whoa.
Wait, now hold on though. Actually, should I have to do the PT test that I used to do or the new PT test the Army does?
Old.
I think new one. Kate,
Oh.
I'd like to see Kate bust out some pull-ups.
Oh, fuck no. Are you kidding? Again, bingo wings. That's not happening at all.
How long do you think you can flex arm hang, Kate?
If I have a good song in my head, I can go for a long ass time.
Party in the USA.
Oh yeah, I could go probably two rounds through Party in the USA.
Bertie Higgins.
Oh, I could be there all day. For sure.
Lime in the coconut.
Oh, I'd be too hot and heavy. That was playing.
Smooth by Rob Thomas featuring Santana off the Grammy Award winning album Supernatural.
Only about 15 seconds. I gotta tell you, I don't like that song.
Wow. All right, let's move on to round 6.